All right. We are now live for the first live streamed board meeting for Prairie Township. So anybody that's out there watching, if you're there, if there's anyone there, welcome. So let's get started. Let's just stand and say a pledge of allegiance. And we'll have a quick prayer, and then we'll get right into business. So, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to be here to serve our community here in Prairie Township. Dear Lord, we're blessed and honored to have that privilege. Pray that you be with us, help us to make the best decisions that we can to serve the most people here in our area. So, dear Lord, watch over us, guide us, and lead us. In your name, amen. All right. Well, you all have a welcome package, kind of a meeting package here. So that's what we'll work through today. Before we get started, let's see. I do need a motion to accept the agenda as presented. I'll make a motion. Okay, motion made. Second. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, all those, that's three, so very good. So first thing on the agenda is we have a distinguished individual that we would like to welcome. So Rosie Sampley had been a board member. She's been a board member, or she 30 years, I don't know, a long time. Yeah. So she resigned when she was able to sell her home and kind of get closer to family. And Mr. Raul Pinion is our new representative for Prairie Township, and I want to welcome you aboard. I think everybody knows Raul, and definitely the people in the Mount Summit area know Raul. And so we want to welcome you and really tell you thank you for volunteering and stepping forward. Sometimes it's hard to fill, township board positions, but they had no trouble here. We appreciate you very much for that. Thank you very much. So welcome aboard. Thank you. So, all right. The purpose of tonight's meeting, we have several things on the agenda, but this all resolves really around House Bill 1461. That was kind of a component or a subset, I guess you say, of Senate Bill 1, where we had all these sweeping reforms that basically, crossed the state of Indiana. And 1461 really affected townships, to a greater degree. And so everything we're taking care of today is statutorily required to be done, to meet, the new required laws. So the first one we got is the capital improvement plan. And you guys have a little subset of your package. It's got some color prints in it. And if you go to the first page, where it's kind of got calculations there, it'll have $622,818 in a negative. Okay, so that's kind of the main page. That's a summation of everything. And let me explain what's going on there. This is the capital improvement plan, and this what allows us to protect our savings. Okay, so Prairie Township, historically, at least since I've been on, we've always, and you guys know this, you help me set budgets, we try to set realistic budgets. We really don't play any games at all. We set what we need because, obviously tax dollars, it's capped, it's limited. We only do so much, and we don't try to do more than that. So we set our budgets, but then we work very hard to beat our budgets. Whether it's the fire department doing maintenance on their own, or maybe instead of hiring somebody, maybe I go out the chainsaw and maybe clean up some properties. We work very, very hard to not spend all of our budget money. The money that we don't spend stays in our bank account. It's what we call our unencumbered funds. So it's like anybody with a home budget, you can't spend every penny you bring in because you got to save for emergencies, right? So I'm not sure what the motive was for the Senate to go after this money, or the House, I should say, other than, there's some very, very wealthy townships out there that maybe aren't spending their money like they should. And so I think, they're looking to maybe reclaim some of that. So, but for us, like the money that we save, we don't spend, it has a purpose. It's our savings account. So this capital improvement plan is a legal way for me to tell the state of Indiana, my excess funds are really not in excess. We have a plan for that money. And so like, our excess funds minus the Hillsborough account is, we'll just say roughly $150,000. Well, that's not, even though it's unencumbered right now, that has always been our savings to buy a new pumper. A new pumper may cost us as much as $750,000. So we need that savings. We need to hang on to that because we've got future expenses that we're going to have to meet. And this is the great thing about this plan. This allows us to protect those unencumbered funds so that we can use them for their intended purpose. So this document was built to declare what needs to be saved or encumbered or what really is free to be spent. So right now, it says a negative $622,000. I'm saying that if we go to, let's just go right to the meat of it here. Go to page number 3, okay? This really is a list of my, this is the revenue. Let me back up here. Yeah, the second page. I'm sorry, guys. The second page. This is the money that I have in the general fund, okay? And I have $127 in the very first line that has money. I have $127,000 there that could be considered just free money, excess money. This document lets me reserve that. And that's what the first number in yellow is. Okay, Terry, you have this amount of money, what's using it for? And I've got a figure of $750,000. That's what we're estimating a pumper might cost us by the time you're ready to buy it. And so if you subtract what I have from what I want to spend, that's where that negative $622,000 comes from. So in a way, it's telling the state of Indiana that, we're not being frivolous with the money. There is a goal for those funds, a worthy goal, and this is what it is. So this will be, and my document will be submitted to the Department of Local Government Finance to tell them where my money's going.
Say that again, Terry, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. So this is the legal document that will be sent to the Department of Local Government Finance to declare of our unencumbered funds what it will be used for. And right now, that's really, it's the elephant in the room. That's all we're saving for because it's such a huge number. We take care of all the other expenses, money out of pocket. So that's that. The next page just kind of shows you the front and back of that, the tax draw that we're estimating we'll get that will probably help feed that fund. And so, I've got 25 and 26 and 27 on there as far as property taxes, lit funds, and excise, CVET, and FIT funds are on there as well. So that's where the funding is going to come from in the different categories. It's going to, each year will help fund that amount. And then if you want to remember or want to know where everything is going, that's the last document. Like on the rainy day fund, 2026, which is next year, I plan to put a roof on our annex building that we rent to the hair performers, the beauty salon. The general fund, it's acquisition and improvement of machinery, equipment, furnishings. And if you look on the back, it's for a new pumper, $750,000. The township, even though it's protected money, our fire department money is a protected fund, they still want us to list what we're going to use our extra money for. And then I'm saying it's the same thing. All the money from the fire department that's unspent is also being saved for the new pumper. And then lastly, site improvements, park and recreation. I've got $75,000 there. I have very little in that fund, and that's all part of the general fund. But at some point in time, I'd really like to put some new playground equipment out there, and that is exorbitant. It's crazy. So guys, this is the actual numbers to the capital improvement plan. So I'll kind of stop there. I've been kind of going on like a fire stream and maybe not giving you a chance to catch your breath. Any questions or comments or concerns on that? I know it's a lot of new information all at once, but.
Okay, now,
Mhm.
this is the budget that you get for the whole year?
No, this is what I'm saving towards.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
that's kind of my target.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I would just maybe compare that to maybe, a family saving for college, I don't know what it's gonna cost, but it's gonna be a couple $100,000, so
Okay.
that's my target.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So whatever
Mhm.
is left, they're trying to take away from us.
Yeah, and I guess, well, that in a sense, that's it, I think what they're trying to do is, there are townships, I would think, you could say is hoarding money. I can't say for a fact which township it is, but it seems to me like there was one particular township, like had over $1 million in their township assistance, helping the poor, and giving a penny out. You see, that's not what we're about. Yeah,
I know
so,
there was a couple months ago where the trustee around Indianapolis, they got him for using the money for his own personal
yeah,
thing.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that would be a, totally different type of scenario.
right, yeah.
So obviously that's criminal, and I'm sure
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
got its own, but
Yeah.
there are I think there are a lot of townships that have more money than they need.
So basically, it's just being efficient with your budget, making sure that
Yeah.
it's being put to use.
Being accountable. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So see, I was concerned at first I was gonna lose money, but then I found out that, there's gonna be a way to show like you're saying, I'm accountable for my money, so there's nothing really to worry about. The state of Indiana have given us a tool that allows us to continue on with our mission, to save our money the best we can, to buy what we need when we can.
Now that the pumper that you said that we'll have to buy soon or when it goes out or.
Well, right now, I will say that the fire department does an incredibly good job of maintaining their equipment.
Okay.
I'm on the fire department, I'm a captain in the fire department, and we do weekly truck checks, or try to anyway. But we have scheduled maintenance, scheduled observations that we try to do weekly, at least twice a month, I would say. So we take care of our equipment very good. Our fire chief has that pump certified every year. So we still meet the federal, I'm forgetting the acronym here, the number, but the fire association, the fire code. We still meet their requirements. It's grandfathered in because we have kept we've kept it certified and we've kept it up here. So if you've never been here, you're being a new member, after the meeting, I'd be happy to show you the fire equipment.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
our equipment looks brand new. Even our grass rig, which we hope to replace next year, it's a 1990. It looks new. Take good care of it. So that being said, to answer your question, we hope to make that pumper last as long as we can,
Yeah.
because the more we can save, the less I have to borrow, the less of an impact it is on the taxpayers.
Not to
So,
get sidetracked, but are numbers up? Do we have we had any new volunteers? Or
I think we have got a good group now. A lot of departments I've heard, there's rumor that they're not even making runs because they don't have enough people. We've picked up, I'll say, just 3 or 4, but these guys are hardworking, dedicated firefighters. Plus the ones that we've already got on board, we don't need 20 or 30. You normally need 20 or 30, if only certain people are doing certain things at a time. But if you got 7 or 8 guys that are showing up every time, that's a big deal. So we've really picked up some quality people, say in the last year or so. So, but anyway, we will buy a new pumper when, we start maybe having more maintenance problems, or we feel like, it's like you having a used car in a family, like this thing's not safe.
Yeah.
Then we'll pull the trigger. Or if we get to the point where we've got enough money, we feel like we can buy it without burdening the community, probably go ahead and be proactive and get rid of it then. Our pumper's a 2000, purchased with a grant. So far, every piece of equipment out there in the township has been purchased with grants. We have not come to the community, the township, for extra tax money, at least in I will say the 30 years I've been on the fire department, we've written over $1 million worth of grants. And so we're going to continue to do that. That's just getting more and more difficult to pull off. The bucket's smaller, more people want to, dip out of the bucket. So, but that's where we're at on the equipment. We've got 2000 is the pumper, 2004 is the tanker, our emergency response vehicle, new in 2017. And with the grant we just got, or the lit safety tax we were just awarded on Monday, we'll be able to replace our grass rig. It's the oldest one. So that kind of gives you kind of where we're at. Otherwise, we're good on our SCBAs and our turnout gear, which is, probably the next most expensive things that we kind of burn through fairly quickly. So if we get that, that's, we're in good shape except for that truck, just when we can, so.
I know, everybody's being budgeted and accountable. Are there any caps or restrictions now to this new regulation and stuff they're coming out with?
You know what? In the next portion of the agenda, we're going to talk about that. You're a good straight man, Dave. I appreciate it. So if there are no other questions about that, then what the next thing is you guys have in your packet, and it says resolution number, and it's got 08/08/2025A. Resolution of the Prairie Township Board of Henry County. And basically, the second, whereas the board has determined that it is in the best interest of the township and its residents to adopt a capital improvement plan per Indiana Code 36.9.9. So I need a motion and a second to adopt the capital projects fund to basically protect our money.
I'll make a motion to adopt
Okay,
capital.
great. So motion made.
I'll second that.
Raul seconds it. All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, very good. That's one piece of it. So now the next thing is, and this is going to be with resolution 08/07/2025B. It's has to do with the improvement and maintenance of road infrastructure. This one's probably a little more difficult for most trustees to choke on, or to choke down, if you will. This is where they want to take 30% of our unspent money and use it to repair roads. In my lifetime, I don't know that the townships were ever required to work on roads. But for the same reason, those unprotected funds that we just protected, this would be one of the uses for that. So if we did nothing, and I had $150,000 free and clear, then they would get 30% of that. So basically $45,000. So it's just gone that quick. So
We're talking the state, you say on that, sorry.
yeah, well, basically the state is the one that's moving us, because what this resolution is doing is just saying that we also are adopting the capital improvement plan. We're acknowledging that the exposure, and then I'll talk about what years got in our next motion there, because that's obviously is kind of joined at the hip with this resolution. So basically, let me just pick out a House Bill 1461 requires that Prairie Township Board to adopt a resolution in favor of providing money for the improvement and maintenance of roads and infrastructure within the township before transferring funds for such projects. So this is saying that we basically agree, we understand. We understand the need for improved, well-maintained roads. Says here, we've reviewed our budget and financial resources. That's what we just did. And the big thing is, we intend to comply with the provisions of House Bill 1461, including the adoption of the annual capital improvement plan, the transfer of 30% of the balance of unrestricted funds. We just restricted them. So anyway, we do need to adopt this resolution as part of the flow of what we're trying to get through. And that this will make a little bit more sense when I do the next document.
Make a motion.
Okay, motion's been made to accept 0807-2025B. Have a second?
Second.
Second's been made. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed? And really, I should have asked here, and I will, if I have to rescind it. But any questions? I blathered on there for a little bit. Any more questions on that? I should have asked that before we voted. I apologize. Yeah. So we are doing well, guys. I appreciate it. So part of this resolution for the infrastructure, that money can only be spent in Prairie Township. Okay, I need to have some kind of a working agreement with a town, some entity, or the county to work with for my road infrastructure money. And so I chose the town of Mount Summit as my partner. And the reason is our buildings in Mount Summit, if there ever was money that needed to be spent, I could spend it on sidewalks, maybe crosswalks, things around the building here. I could put it on some unnamed county road, it really wouldn't mean much to many people. But if I could do something with the roads, sidewalks, infrastructure here at the building, that's the reason I picked Mount Summit. Okay, so the memorandum of understanding, and you guys have that in your packet as well. It is basically just that. It's kind of a casual document, and I gave this to Vanessa yesterday, and that I'll be talking and explaining this to the town council Tuesday when they meet. And so, but I'm basically saying that we have adopted a capital improvement plan, a resolution to allocate funds for infrastructure. The town of Mount Summit, located within Prairie Township, seeks to collaborate. That's really what it is. It's a collaboration between us and them to utilize a portion of these funds for infrastructure projects. It says that we will manage the money. We kind of do all the work, but we'll kind of be in a partnership with the town of Mount Summit. What do they think would be good uses for it? Where can we use it? How can we use it? And it says here the purpose of this memorandum of understanding is to outline the terms and conditions under which Prairie Township and Mount Summit will collaborate to allocate and use funds from the township roads and infrastructure established pursuant to House Bill 1461. Scope 2, scope of cooperation. Parties agreed to work together to identify, prioritize, and implement projects. Number 3, financial responsibilities. Fund allocation. Prairie Township shall transfer 30% of their unrestricted funds exceeding the budget towards the project. Item 4 just talks about we'll form a joint committee to figure out how to do it. 5, roles and responsibilities. We will manage the project, the funding, and all of that. Item 6, this memorandum of understanding. I got it commencing September the 15th and ending the end of 2027. Either party can terminate this within 30 days. So if anybody terminated it, we'd obviously have to find another party to do this. So then I'll just require my signature and the president of the town council. So Nick, this kind of explains all the kind of the flow that we did. First of all, we have to identify, what money is exposed, what money do we need to protect. Then the second one is to allocate the funds that aren't protected. In our case, they're all protected. This is still a step we have to follow according to the law, that we have no funds to supply to that. But this way we're prepared. Let's say something happens to the budget and we end up with some extra money that maybe nobody's seen coming. Some kind of, I can't even begin to
Yes.
guess. But yeah, so there may be some money to do that. And so then this explains the process of how that whole process is managed. So, any questions on that? Like I said, they made a lot of work for us. It's been about the most technical meeting we've had in a long, long time, you know? So, if there are no questions on that, I would entertain a motion to accept this document, this memorandum of understanding. Okay.
Make a motion to adopt the
Okay.
memorandum.
All right, second?
I'll second.
Raul seconds it. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? I guess it's only three of them. They all agree. Nobody opposed. Very good, very good. Okay. So, the last piece of, I guess, significant business, it's all significant, but, each year, you guys have to approve me moving money over into the rainy day fund. Now, we had a special, adoption, a transfer from our unencumbered funds into the rainy day fund. Remember, we did that to pay for the generator. So that squared us up back to day one. But my budget for 2025 requires money to be in there, and we've not funded it yet. So I need, and we always do this at the end of the year. Some organizations wait till the last May, so they have to do it once. But I would need a motion. Well, are there any questions about that, first of all? I'm sorry.
Are you going to the same dollar amount?
Yeah, the same amount, it's $5,000, and that's what was in the budget that we signed for. So, okay, motion made, second, okay. Any other questions? So, and basically, Raul, just for your help, the rainy day fund really is just kind of a carryover, literally like a rainy day fund. You use it normally for emergencies or special odd projects. And remind me to show you, but our old generator, which is now in the parking lot across the street, which I actually got the check for today. So we sold that, dude. It was real close to being sold for scrap, so we did make some extra money. We put in a new emergency generator to take care of anybody in the township. If we have, power outages anywhere, we can make sure and keep them
I was
warm.
curious, is it, are you happy with it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, tests once a week, runs, get notices, all bit, and 10-year warranty. So it's great. So anyway, that's what we used the rainy day for. But the last time I don't know that I've spent on it in the past.
Well, that's what I tell my kids, save money for a rainy day.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So, really what we do at our level of government, it's really a lot like, I think, typical homeowners managing their own budget. I think everybody should have a budget. You work towards your budget. You're under budget at the end of the year. Life's good. You've saved for something you might need or emergencies, and you just know how you're spending your money. So, okay. Well, I think I had motions. Let's see, I guess I just need a vote on this. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Thank you very much. The only other thing I've got, and really it's just for Dave. Yeah, just for Dave. Our last meeting, the minutes, Nick takes it down and lets us know what's in them, but then he prints it up so we have a copy that's readable. If you would just sign those.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to use,
Uh,
David?
Oh, I don't care.
On this thing over here, it has Larry Baker.
Yes. Oh,
So I didn't know if I had another change or somebody.
well, let us, I didn't catch that.
I noticed that a while ago.
Oh, you know what? So, yeah,
Maybe you'd rather have Larry.
we want to fix that. Larry Beatty goes to my church. He's a buddy of mine. And so I had Larry on my mind here. Thank you for catching that. All right. Oh, and let's see, that does remind me, my copy on that
You know that? You know Larry?
On these resolutions, if you guys could sign your name, if it's, I assumed it was to be 3 ayes, just sign your names under the ayes right there. And then I'll start this way, same way with the other resolution, sign that.
Day or no?
Huh?
Day, you want the date on it?
Yeah, that's great, yeah, thank you. Kind of a small detail, but kind of important. Thank you for catching all that. Okay, and then the only other piece of business I've got, and Raul, we could do it afterwards, but as a board member, you actually are going to be protected under workman's comp like these guys are. So literally, if you were walking to the meeting and somebody drove over the curb and hit you, you would be protected because you were actually on duty here. So Carol's protected, I'm protected, anybody that's working for the township has that level of insurance. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys, I appreciate it. Okay, well, that's really all I have at this time, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second? All right, meeting is adjourned.